Coach, when's the last time you felt this good about a group?
It's been a few years. I mean, it's a great start. We're really happy with where we are. We've gotten better every game. There's still a lot of room for growth, which is exciting because we're playing really well, but they still can grow and get better. And I think the biggest thing is just to remain focus on what's ahead. We're 4-0. It's a great start, but we have to keep pushing.
Coach, that 2019-2020 team, really pretty good tournament team, I believe, till COVID. Can you compare the two teams then and versus what you have now?
I think again, the focus really from about the middle of last season was to get back to an identity that shaped us having success back in those 2 years. And it was just being relentless, being heavy, being focused, hard skill. I think last year's team, again, was a little bit frustrating because we knew we were good enough to beat anybody, and we proved that. But it wasn't enough hard skill, right? This is a little too much just skill. So there's only one puck, and we went out and got guys that helped shape an identity. And we're starting to play to that identity, hard and fast and relentless. And I think that's what the parallel between this year's team and those two teams are.
Coach, last game against Merrimack, you held an offensively powered team, Northern Michigan, to only 17 shots on goal. Can you go into structurally how your defense has improved this season?
It's just a mindset. I mean, we've changed a little bit in our D zone, not too much from a structure standpoint, but it's a mindset of killing plays and having good sticks. That's the biggest thing. We don't want guys with sticks in the air. We want guys with sticks down, taking away passing lanes. 5 guys with sticks on the ice makes it tough to play against. So it's taking bodies, it's finishing checks, it's killing plays, and then figuring out ways to, when you kill the play, get it and get on offense and get out.
Coach, Miami, Ohio this week. I mean, what are you looking at scouting for them?
I think they're good. I mean, they're 3-1. So they've got a good start as well. They're going to be chomping at the bit for a ranked team to come in and knock them off and continue a great start. So, they're a future conference opponent where we've never played them before. They're one of only 5 or 6 teams left that we've never played. So we're excited to go and experience. They got a great venue in Oxford, great campus. So we're excited to get there and experience a new venue.
There's a lot of media talking about best starting program history, 4-0. How do you not let the team read their press clippings?
I mean, we haven't done anything. It's paper champions right now. The rankings don't matter. Coaches polls and media polls, they don't matter, right? It's all for you guys. It's not for us. The pairwise matters. It's too early to even look at the pairwise. It doesn't matter. There's not enough data to make it even relevant. So we don't look at that until about 15 games in. But we're playing one game at a time. That's all you can do as an independent. You have to treat every game like it's a playoff game because it is. This weekend is a big weekend for us. We don't have as many road opportunities as normal, and you get rewarded. The pairwise rewards you for going on the road and especially winning on the road. So, going and getting a win or two this weekend will be big for us down the stretch.
Coach, you guys all healthy this week?
Yep, completely healthy.
Already 10 different guys on the score sheet already this season. Just what does that tell, or what does that say about you guys' depth? And you guys have already got it going.
Yeah, I mean it's the balance is there, the depth is there. When you have a fourth line that's been arguably our best line, it's pretty impressive. We want to play a game as much 5-on-5 as we can because we have that depth. I thought Saturday we managed our shift length really well, the best we have all year. It was the lowest average of shift length per player that we've had out of the first 4 games was in that 4th game, and you could feel us starting to wear that team down with our depth, and it was because we managed our shifts, getting ozone changes, stuff like that. So we love our depth. We have balanced scoring. We knew we would, and that's what you want to see.
One of your main guys last year, Ryan Alexander, obviously hasn't got on the goal scoring sheet yet. But what has he done for this team so far?
He's a Swiss Army knife, and he'll get going. He's coming off an off-season surgery, so he was we knew he'd have a little bit of a slow start getting his conditioning back up, but it's starting to get there. So his role is going to expand more than what you saw last year. But he got 4 games under his belt. His legs feel good. They're not as heavy as they were in the first 2-3 games, and he's ready to really start making an impact.
Coach, talking about that 4th line specifically, Kyle Smollen, he came this weekend and has really had an impact. What do you think he brings to that line just through the team?
Again, another kid that can play anywhere in the lineup. He's happy to get dirty and be a defensive-minded guy and play that role and get pucks out, get pucks in, finish checks. He likes to be physical, but he's got a really good skill set where if I need him to go up and do a top 6 role, he's capable, and he has the brain and the IQ to do it. So he again, is just a player that as he develops is going to be a really big piece for us for 4 years. We know he's been committed here a long time, and he's a team guy. He's 4 years in the USHL, which is rare. He came in ready to go, ready to play, ready to make an impact, and I trust him in every situation. I mean, I had him out there Friday in a 5-on-6 at the end of the game, to seal and win. That's how much I trust him.
And he's a guy who says that, coming in here, he asked a lot of questions, almost too many questions. Did you see that from him?
I don't. I mean, he can ask all the questions he wants.
But
Yeah.
No.
He's a curious kid. He wants to know. He wants to learn. He wants to get better every day. He's a kid that you look at right now, and you see him as a head coach, as a future captain.
Coach, with the transfer portal gaining a lot of popularity, you have this situation with Lagerback over at Miami this week. How do you go into a week like this where you have a foreign player on the other side?
Well, excited to see him. He's a great kid, when kids make a decision to go get something that they want that they weren't going to get here, you support them. That's the beauty of the portal now. Kids have an opportunity to go get a second chance and find opportunity at a different institution that they think can give them what they want. We're proponents of it. We bring kids in here, and when a kid wants to go find more opportunity somewhere else, you support him, and looking forward to seeing him. He's got a great family, they're great people, and looking forward to hopefully seeing him play.
What does it mean for this team that you have so many freshmen like Smollen who are so curious to learn and wanting to learn new things?
It's. I met with all the freshmen pretty much this morning, especially the ones that haven't gotten in yet, and what they have to understand is that we're 4-0 because of them just as much as anybody. They have pushed these guys every day in practice. They're really sharp every day in practice. When you have that backside pressure kind of nipping at tails, it makes guys like Benji Eckerle and Ryan O'Reilly understand, we better go. And they're playing their best hockey that they've played because of that. We didn't have that last year. We didn't have the depth. We had a lot of injuries. We lacked the depth when we were healthy. So when you can make every practice matter and every practice competitive, it translates, and that's why you see our depth guys playing so well, because they know that we have some really good players that haven't gotten in yet, that are chomping at the bit, that push them every day in practice.
You've talked about how you feel like your defense then has gotten bigger, stronger, fast this year. Through the first 4 games, Lovell's been really pretty offensively minded. Have you liked how your D's played? Anything kind of surprised you in their game?
No, our D we've dressed 7 every game, and we have 9 that can play. So playing good defensively is a team buy-in thing. It's not just our D core, but our D core is in my opinion much improved, and defensively so far, the team is much improved. When TJ can go through a workload of 17 shots against a team like Northern Michigan, who's a high-flying offense, scored 10 goals at Duluth. That's a good sign moving forward.
Tim, it's your guys' first time on the road. Played a couple games at home, kind of got into a groove. But how are you guys feeling about?
Yeah, obviously started off pretty hot. So 4-0 in the season so far. So definitely way more confidence than we've ever had, which is great. So heading into Miami this weekend, hopefully it goes really well for us.
Tim, you got a lot of talent around you on the power play this year, going from Young on your left, Copperwood on your right. You have Chambers, Sillinger, etc. How great is it to be the power play of so much talent around there?
Yeah, it's crazy, honestly. You have so many guys obviously rotating in, rotating out because we have so much talent. Obviously, I've worked well with Cop, pretty well in the past, and obviously up till now too. So, yeah, basically we got everybody going, and it's helping out dramatically, and hopefully we continue to do that.
You guys already have 10 different goal scorers. Just what does that say about your guys' depth?
Yeah, I don't think people really know how deep we are, because it's Arizona State, a party school. So I think people just kind of take us lightly, and this year it's way different than it's ever been. So we're deep and really good team this year. So.
Timmy, back home, your dad runs the hockey academy back in Massachusetts. Brian Chambers also went to that academy. Did you have any connection with him before? And what was the scouting report you got from your dad?
Yeah, no, actually, Brian and I, we go way back. Brian played in the 18 team there, which wasn't the academy, it was the Boston Advantage program, how it originally started. And then Tony Eckerle actually played on my team all the way through from, I want to say, my major up till 18s as well. So, yeah, we definitely go back with those guys pretty far. And, no, it's great that we're on the same team and reunited here. So it's great.
Is that part of the recruiting pitch?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but maybe could have been. So yeah, it's great.
You've looked great through 4 games so far. How do you feel about your own personal game?
Yeah, no. Obviously, I think my game's definitely matured a little bit. Gotten older, stronger, faster. Still the same player I've always been. So yeah, no. I feel really confident this year with like my surrounding cast and our team. So it's just gonna make my game get better as well.
You just mentioned being taken lightly. Is that kind of a motivating factor for you guys to kind of defy odds in a way?
I think so, personally, just because we can get the jump on teams right away when they come out slow versus us. I mean, we've came out slow a couple times, but once we get one goal, I mean, we kind of get rolling. So, yeah, definitely a hard train to stop for sure.
You guys have talked. You have Miami Hawks. Have you guys talked about that at all?
Yeah, we've brought them up, obviously. I mean, like, they're not an easy team. They play in the NCHC, which the league we're joining next year, so obviously we're pretty pumped to play against them. But no, I think heading into this weekend, like, it's a real test for us to really see what we're getting into for next year, and I think for them, it's a real test for them too. So, being ranked 13th and all, so I mean, yeah, looking forward to it.
For some of the freshmen who got their first taste of college hockey here at home, how do you kind of compare them to playing a hostile environment at such a high level?
Yeah, obviously I think, you know, like it's definitely really exciting playing here for a freshman, like coming in here for your first year. I think like the first time I played here, I was so nervous but excited at the same time, you know, like had those exciting feelings. So yeah, it was just kind of nerve-wracking a little bit, but yeah, there's nothing better that beats college hockey here especially. So yeah, it's been great.
Tim, you got the new freshman Anthony Dowd coming in. He has a very similar game, a very offensive defenseman, a little bit smaller in stature rather than you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bigger bodied defenseman. Do you ever see any similarities between what you were as a freshman and him?
Yeah, Dowd is my boy. Obviously, like he's an unbelievable player. So like it's just awesome the fact that like I know I'm a senior and he's a freshman and kind of get to take him under my wing a little bit here and kind of just practice with him and try and make him better every day before he kind of takes over that role. No, it's outstanding to watch though because it just makes me happy and makes me feel appreciated for who I am. That a kid, you know, kind of similar to my game comes in here and you know kind of like wants that role and no, it's been great. Kid's the man, awesome kid, awesome player. So yeah, it's great.
Who was the guy who brought you under their win earlier?
I probably honestly, Jacob Semick was kind of the man. When I first got here, he kind of just took me through rules a little bit of just like whether we were out, like always just making sure I was good, kind of just, you know, being the kid I am and making sure I'm comfortable. So, yeah, no, and on the ice, he just gave me all the confidence in the world, just making sure I'm playing my game and just staying focused and confident at all times. So, yeah, it's been great. So.
And it's just 1 of 5 road trips you guys have this season. Those road games are very important to come down the line at the end of the year. How, you know, in your guys' mind, from what you guys have heard, how big does this series mean in that aspect?
Yeah, this series is huge. I think the fact that like we're an independent team still, right, for this year. I think, you know, guys need to know like how important these games are. Like out in Duluth last year, I think we're on the road there, and then we went to Bemidji, and we came back. I want to say it was like 1-3. So the fact that we're going in 4-0, and I think we can take full advantage of that. Like heading in there with confidence and hopefully getting a sweep versus these guys. You know, one game at a time, obviously, but yeah, we're really focused on this weekend. So.
Benji, I think it was on Saturday that Coach Powers said that the fourth line with you and Smollen was probably the best. What can you say about that line? Also with Ryan O'Reilly on there too.
We're just playing a role right now. We're playing really hard and really fast. I think that's what you expect from your fourth line. I know that's what they've told us they expect. So yeah, we're just trying to stick to that identity, and it's working really well. So.
Benji, you're one of the most longer tenured devils being on this team, going through your mullet now. What can you say about this team in comparison to the teams you've been
This team is definitely, I mean, it's a lot like a lot of the teams we've had. Like, we have a lot of skilled guys. We have a lot of camaraderie and, like, closeness on the team. I think the thing that distinguishes it is we're kind of all on the same page in terms of how we want to play and, like, what our goals are, like, going into every game. And we're keeping it to each and every game as opposed to, like, worrying about our ranking, worrying about, like, the whole season. It's like, today we're doing this, tomorrow, or today we're doing that, tonight, whatever. Yeah, keeping it, like, one day at a time, so.
Just kind of like you know where the goals are coming from. A lot of your guys' chances seem to like really mirror each other. Like a lot of like back post opportunities, stuff like that. Has that kind of been like a huge emphasis?
Just getting to the net is, yeah. It's, I mean, trying to play in the dirty areas, like front of net's obviously one of those. So yeah, try to stay away from being exterior and like outside shots from the boards and all that kind of thing, but like really get into the hard areas. And yeah, like I said, it's working right now. So.
What are some of the challenges you going on the road for the first time this season?
Just, I mean, being away from the comfort of this place, obviously, like, we love it here. It's amazing. And going, like, into a hotel, trying to get your routines figured out. Like, I know a lot of the new guys are going to have different things that they got to, you know, get squared away. Besides that, just playing on, like, different sheet, playing against, you know, in front of a hostile crowd instead of, like, the guys we got here, the whole shebang. So, yeah, it's better.
How do you get adjusted to that quickly? When you go on a road trip, you've done plenty. What do you go through to get adjusted to a new playing, new ice, new building, all that quickly?
Yeah, I mean, the ice thing is just we get ice usually Thursday before like we have a practice before we play Friday, and that's all about that, like just testing out the boards, testing out the ice, that kind of thing. Like you'll usually get pretty acclimated to that pretty quickly. Beyond that, like a lot of guys like to just sort of wander around whatever city we're in, like get to know like where we are and what the vibes are and that kind of thing. And yeah, just be as comfortable as possible going into the weekend.
You had a new freshman on the fourth line, Cole Gordon, and he had a good first weekend. But a lot of freshmen are making an impact, Tim, Dowd, et cetera. How do you kind of take them under your wing and teach them the lessons of D1 college hockey?
This crop of freshmen is actually really easy because they're very eager to learn. Like they ask a lot of questions. They want to get better. So yeah, it's nothing new. They ask you stuff and you just answer honestly and like try to give them as much good advice as you possibly can. But.
And you played with Kyle this past weekend, centering your fourth line, and it seems like he's really adjusted to the college game pretty fast. What is it like playing with him, and what do you think he brings to your line?
It's awesome. He's a guy that's, I mean, he's just gritty, like, and doesn't stop. His motor is crazy high. He just wants it really bad, and he's got like an underrated skill aspect to him, so he can get to those dirt areas and like use hard skill to make plays that like push us forward. And like you saw, he scored. Like those kind of plays are, yeah, they're huge for him.
As a guy who's been here the longest, I think there's a lot of talk this year about how close this team is. Is this probably the closest you've seen as a team as a whole, and you think that helps you guys on the ice?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, like I said, we have close teams basically every year, but this one's one that it's close, sort of on the ice as well. Like when we're out there for practice, when we're like in meetings and everything, like everyone's on the same page. And yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's like indescribably important to where we're gonna go and like how much success we're gonna have this year.
What do you see as the reason for that?
I think it was our preseason, honestly. Like we had a really hard preseason, really hard off ice, really hard on ice stuff, just like pushing ourselves constantly. And I think that kind of stuff like brings everyone together, like just in one common struggle, you know. So.
Kyle, you have more of a rare career. You had 4 years in juniors. You kind of cut your teeth there, and now you're a freshman playing D1 hockey. What are the differences? What are the lessons you learned from playing juniors for 4 years?
One of the biggest things is, trust. When I was younger, I was very impatient. I learned that I have to trust in everyone around me, that they have a plan for me and things are going to get done properly. And if I trust my development, things are going to go well and eventually take you to where you want to go. So I put all my trust in all my coaches and my teammates, and they got me to this place and where I'm at now. So I'm very grateful for that.
And you scored your first goal this past weekend. Can you just explain what was going through your head when that happened?
Quite honestly, just get to the net. It's kind of one thing that, courses through my head is just be around the net, be hungry around the net, because you got a lot of older guys that know how to get to the puck to the hard areas of the ice, and it was kind of just lying there for me. So pretty much just get to the net.
And it sounds like that's something that's always been a part of your game, just getting to the net, getting to those gritty areas. Is that that true? Would you consider you that type of player?
Absolutely. I think, like I said, a lot of my coaches, I trusted in them, and they said you're the type of player that has skill, and you're going to be able to score if you get to the hard areas of the ice. But the problem is you got to get to the hard areas of the ice. And when I took that advice and I trusted it, I started doing it in my career, and it honestly started paying off, as you saw in my last year in junior hockey, and now it's starting to pay off at the collegiate level as well.
What's that transition been like for you from juniors now here to collegiate D1 hockey?
It's certainly a change. There's a lot of bigger, stronger, faster guys out here that you're going up against, and that's probably the biggest shift. The speed of the game is up-paced, but everything that you do in juniors and all the systems and the schematics of it, like that is all the same. It's just a matter of willing through the stronger guys and the faster guys, because they're catching up to you a lot faster.
You guys got all the momentum in the world going into Ohio this weekend. How does that translate from being at home for the first 4 games now being on the road?
I think we have to have a mindset of we haven't done anything yet. I think we have to come to the conclusion as a group that we want to go to a special place, and that special place isn't now.
A lot of experience, especially in terms of the center point. You have Alexander, you have a lot of experience up there. Are there some guys in this team that have kind of taught you the reins?
One more time, sir?
Have they kind of taught you the reins of not only being a center? I know you're a 200-foot guy going back, but also just kind of how the NCAA works.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of freshmen that are curious, and I'm kind of always listening in the locker room when people are asking questions, and I'm a big question guy yourself. Anyone on this team that you ask will say I ask probably too many questions, but I'm always curious to know what I could be doing better. And when I'm asking around, they've kind of taken me on, especially my line mates, O'Reilly and Benji. They seriously have pointed me in the right direction with things that I'm doing right and things I'm doing wrong. And quite honestly, when I make a mistake, instead of not saying anything to me and being pissed off, they take me in and saying, hey, just do this instead. And honestly, it makes me feel like a better player and a better person. So.
What was the selling point on ASU for you? I mean, all the places you could go, you come here now, joining college even next year for the school.
Just the mentality, the winning mentality, and everyone here, they care about winning. That's the number one thing that they care about in the success of this program. And once I heard that at a young age, that was kind of my mindset. Is I just wanted to win, and I wanted to be able to contribute to a program. And right away, Greg took me under his wing and said, hey, you want to be a contributor, you want to be someone that wants to win, well, we want you here, and let me show you why. And they gave me the opportunity to see the place and see what they're all about, and quite honestly, the mentality here is right up my alley. So.
You talked about playing on that fourth line with O'Reilly and Eckerle. How would you say that their games on the ice kind of complement yours?
They're very hard to play against, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things for me is I like to be a hard player to play against. If you're easy to play against, you're probably not going to win very many games, and I think they do it very well because they're very strong on their stick, and they're very strong kids in general, and I think that just complements my game the most.
Benji talked about how difficult training camp was, and just it brought you guys together. What was your kind of experience with that?
It was hard. It was quite the transition for me. I got here probably midsummer, and I realized real fast that if I want to, be a part of this team and I want to make a contribution, I got to grow as a player, and physically and mentally. And I think Leanne did a great job with, seriously mentally testing us to see if we're capable of handling, the mental adversity that's involved with playing college hockey. And I think seeing it firsthand and being able to experience it early before I got into a game situation kind of helped transfer it to the on-ice experience.